Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I don't know if you can tell, but you're probably seeing me with a slightly different angle. I'm planning to actually move this entire desk up a little bit, which is going to change the way the background looks a little bit. Perspective will change. I'm doing this to see if maybe I can work a little bit more while standing up, and also trying to make it a little simpler to start doing covers. I think that maybe I'm going to start doing the occasional cover, and maybe some new material as well. And I haven't decided yet where to put that. I don't think it really belongs on this channel, so I may start a third one just for covers. But give your thoughts on that below. Part of that inspiration actually comes from watching this set of videos that I've been watching that feature Miyako from Love Bites putting together a demo in her home studio using Pro Tools. So I've got Logic Pro here, and I've got some instruments. For the first video, I actually followed along and did a demo of my own, just a spontaneous song fragment. The whole point with the demo, if you're just trying to get the idea down for the first time, is just keep going. Don't go back and try to fix things too much the first time through. You can do that later, when you're re-recording it or finessing the song. So anyway, we are up to part 3 today. Part 1 was Miyako actually recording a song section. It would be, say, the intro, the verse, first verse, that is, a pre-chorus, and then a chorus. And then that was it. She stopped there. It was about a minute long. And she did that. Apparently she does this regularly. When she gives an idea to Love Bites to consider for a song, she gets their approval first, and then once she has that, she moves on to creating an entire version of the song. And that's what part 2 was about, which I looked at yesterday. So today I'm looking at part 3, and she's going to be arranging this piece a little bit more. Now, I understand, just from the comments in the last video, that she lost her project due to some issues. Let's just say that came up on her computer. Some things got corrupted, something like that. So I'm not sure what we're going to see today, if she's already recreated it and it's going to work with that, or if she's going to start fresh. I'm really not sure. So we will find out together. If you haven't subscribed yet, as you can see, I do feature Love Bites on a somewhat regular basis on the channel. And so subscribe if you don't want to miss any future episodes involving Love Bites. I also do some for Bandmade. I've featured The Warning. I've featured Alex Lifeson, Aurora, a few other artists. I'm going to start adding to the collection of artists that I feature back here. So if you have some ideas for me, please leave those below. All right. In the meantime, why don't we see what Miyako does now with her finished song?
Hi, this is Miyako. Thank you for watching. ということで今日は、パート3、Miyako流のヘビーメタルデモ作りアレンジ編をやっていきたいと思います。前回パート2ではね、イントロからアウトロまでつるっと、フルで作ってみました。今回はね、いろんな箇所、もうドラム、ギターもシンセとかもいろんなところですね、いろいろ編曲して今日は完成までやっていきたいと思っておりますので、ぜひ最後までご覧ください。よろしく。
So it sounds like a fine-tuning process.
早速やっていきたいと思います。ずっと気になってたのが A メロのギターが歌のメロディーを邪魔してると思ったので
So this does look very similar to what she had. So perhaps she did recreate the whole thing just to continue. This third one came out about 3 or 4 weeks after the second. So
サビの裏になんかオブリが欲しいなって。
So she's filling it out a bit.
ギタートラックを追加で作ります。この音程をちょっとオブリに活かしたいですね。
So she's kind of doing that now on her guitar, what you just heard her play on the piano. So she was kind of working it out there a little bit, maybe for the harmony. I don't know, maybe to check the harmonies, who's to say. But that's what she was laying down, was kind of that track that would lay a little bit further in the back and just filling out the sound with playing something else. So the main thing is, and then she's going, something like that. That's kind of the idea, is it's based on the original seed that she had, but it goes off in a slightly different direction and just works to complement the whole thing. And so she does this for every section. Yeah, the things she's putting down right now, actually, they're pretty low in volume. They're low in the mix, too. Back up to the F sharp. And she's using the keyboard mostly as a guide. Adding a little bit of extra ride cymbal to the drums. Again, if you're completely confused, I say just go to part 1. Check that out. She explains more in detail what she's doing.
熱くはなるんだけれど、ギターソロを入れていくか。めんどくさいな。これが一番めんどくさいなと思っちゃう。はい、頑張ります。
I think she'll do fine.
ガイドで適当に弾いたミディのギターソロあるじゃないですか。それのここはちょっといいかもね。適当だったけどここはいいよねみたいなところのニュアンスを使いながら適当に入れて。
That's right. What she was doing yesterday was first putting down a guitar track using her keyboard. So that's what she's talking about. So just to actually, I guess, bang out what the part is going to be, and also to have some type of guide. And now she's going to replace that with an actual guitar part.
できたいと思います。はい。
That's been finessed. Again, her volume's pretty low on these tracks that she's laying down right now. But you can see her. Not wasting any time.
はい、先生今かなり適当なギターソロが入ったところになります。で採用するっていうのが決まってからさらにギターソロは作り込むので、もうそれはギターレックの時にいつもやってます。
Fine tuning.
なのでデモの段階ではギターソロではこれぐらいのクオリティでしか入れてないので、一旦これで許してください。
Some more cymbals. So she's laying those cymbals down in her pre-existing drum track. And then going back and quantizing everything afterwards so that it drops right on the beat. So if she was a little sloppy, it's not sloppy anymore once you do that. Quantizing. She's doing a lot of punching in here as well, where you say start recording right at this measure, and you can even say punch out, stop recording right at this measure. That comes in handy in this situation. Just getting some tracks going now. Look at that. Quantizing.
本当に前マジかなり適当にプレイも死ぬほど荒いんでちょっときちんと
More better
ある程度き
bass.
ちんと弾きたいと思います。できた
Yeah, all
多
right.
分
Maybe. Now we're going to hear it. Much fuller sound this time around. Very nice. Very nice. Hear all the extra guitar lines in there underneath? All right, here we go into the solo. She mentioned the solos are composed differently. They end up being like a song within a song. It's their own structures. Second solo. Nice. Here come the dual leads. back to the vocals. That's what the keyboard is, in case you weren't aware. That's the melody line. There's a harmony vocal line along with the regular lead vocal. Okay, guitars. Okay, outro.
はい、アレンジ編いかがだったでしょう
Sounded good to
か。
me.
結構細かいところね、いろいろやってるんだなって少しでも伝わってるといいです。でね、これは本当にこの YouTube のためだけの、曲というか、
Okay,
あれなの
just for
で、
YouTube.
本当にね、実際 CD に収録される曲の時はもっともっ
Of
と
course, yeah.
時間かけて丁寧に。
This is actually a really important thing to note, so I'm going to leave it up for a second. Song actually recorded on the CD will involve more time, yep, incorporating feedback from both the band members and staff during the arrangement process. So everybody's going to hear this, and these arrangements are going to change a little bit depending on what each individual player proposes for changes, and I don't know if it's voted on by the entire group or not. Probably is, but then they come to an agreement and they get their parts together, and then they record from there, record the new arrangement with the band. And so the song will sound a little bit different. If you've ever listened to demo recordings of songs that you know well, you'll notice that they're always a little bit different, and that's usually why. So really fascinating watching her do this. All right, let us wrap this here.
作業やってます。本当に大変な作業なんですけど、やっぱそれをね、メンバーでみんなでね、レコーディングしてパッケージしてね、これを世にお届けするんですけど、この曲がいい、あの曲がいい、これライブでやったらすごくかっこよかったとかね、いろんな声をいただきますけど、本当にね、その時に報われたなと思います。本当ライブでやって報われたなって思います。この大変だった作業が。はい。でパート3までお付き合いいただいて皆さんどうもありがとうございました。ラブバイツはね、もうすぐ、ワールドツアーが始まりますので、久しぶりの世界でのライブ楽しんでいきたいと思います。その様子もね、ちょこまか YouTube で配信できたらいいなって思ってるので、ちょっとわかんないですけど、やる予定にはしておりますので、それもお楽しみに。この動画が良かったよって人は高評価とチャンネル登録よろしくお願いします。コメントも何か書いてくれると嬉しいです。では Thank you for watching. Bye bye.
Very, very cool. It was nice to see her kind of shepherd that through to completion. It sounded an awful lot like the original that she recorded, so if she had to re-record that whole thing, she did a pretty good job. It was hard to hear any differences. There may have been a few. That's possible, but I was unable to note them just from watching just now. Sounds like a full song to me that she ended up with. We had a complete melody line. We had all the guitar solos, generally what they were going to sound like, or at least the proposal, including harmony lines, dual leads, harmonies for the vocals, and just a complete job. And it does take a while, and it is a lot of work. So I can appreciate what she went through, especially having tried to kind of follow along on part one. I only put about 3 minutes of my own work in that first video. I'm thinking about maybe just releasing the entire video as a standalone of me doing that demo, and maybe I'll do more. But yeah, this has been a little bit inspirational, so I may just start trying to do some covers. And whether it stays on this channel or I try to launch another one, maybe I'll do one or two here and see how they go, and then launch another channel. We'll see what happens. Oh, so many choices, so little time. Well, folks, why don't you let me know what you thought of this demonstration that Miyako put together for us. Let me know if you saw all 3 videos and what you thought of those, the whole process. I thought she was able to break it down very clearly. Obviously, even with the language barrier, we could see what she was doing and why she was doing it. And she did most of the explaining in part 1. Again, if any of this just didn't make much sense to you, go look at part 1, and she gets a little bit more into detail of why she's doing the things she's doing and how she's going about it. And really very educational, frankly, and motivational. So, leave your thoughts below. And if you have other suggestions for me, please leave those below as well. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed the presentation, please subscribe. All right, thanks so much for joining me today. I'll catch you on the next one. All right, take care, folks.